I have a bunch of onions to pick and dry. Red, white, and yellow sweets. And what I'm going to do is make a hanging cage for them to dry out on. I have some extra, this 2x4 fencing material. I'm going to make into a square, put a frame around it, and put the frame using some little garden stakes with tie wraps, and then hang it from gazebo. I've got this fencing laid down with some rain gutters to flatten it out, and I'm just going to tie wrap these little garden stakes around the edge. Hopefully it'll hold it flat. I may have to put one across the middle depending on the weight of the onions. Here's what the onion hanging device looks like. I try to suspend it up underneath the gazebo. Stays cool enough, gets good wind, stays dry. I just folded over the bungee, pushed it through and hooked it on itself. And come out over here and hung it on. It's a little flimsy, but as long as it doesn't come crashing down, it holds them up. There's version 1, out of sight, out of mind. It's gonna smell like onions under here. I can take it down easily and move it into the garage or under the back patio. I think it's a little breezier here, and the sun definitely doesn't get underneath here. I used to put the onions on this metal shelf in the garage, top 2. All their leaves fell and it smelled like onions in here. And then I had them on the tables in this porch back here. Of course, we get a strong afternoon sun from this direction, and you can see how the leaves build up. All the onion remnants are blown everywhere. Whereas out here, I'm hoping all the stuff that falls off will just blow away, or I can use the blower easily. All right, let's pick some onions. Sweet white, red, and yellow, baby.
Nice.
Every once in a while you get a small one. That's okay. You can still eat it. I had 2 that broke off, so when you're pulling these out, pull gently. It rained 2 days ago, so the ground's still a little soft. They're coming up easily. But the 2 that broke off, I'll just go in later and scoop them out. Okay, in design, plan A is working good. First it was kind of, I'm like, oh, am I going to get all these leaves through here? But Just bend them over right here and push through. It went through easily, but it's really drooping. So I got to go to plan B and figure out how to raise this higher. And this is plan B. I got some telescoping poles that I use for a jetty net. I got the poles on an auction. They were for a net extension for cleaning pools. I have 5 pieces. I had to extend this one with the little pipe. Anyway, it works really well. I just lay it up there. I don't know if I'll need the bungee cords anymore or not. And if I want to, I can just roll these. If I have a couple people, I can move them back and forth easily. I do have a concern of sideways rain coming in, so one solution is just, if I think it's going to rain, cover this, just the onions, with a tarp. That's what it looks like from up top. Nice breeze coming through. Watch out for these pokies. I should have cut all these off the end. Got the yellows here, the reds, and I only picked a few whites. They're not ready. And we'll wait to see which ones cure and which ones don't. But what happens is this will turn brown and shrivel up, and it dries here. You want it to dry here, that way it won't continue to rot quickly down into the onion. And they will almost always do that unless the onion bolted. If the onion bolted, it produces a really thick stalk here, and it won't dry out. It'll stay green. So you're going to have to eat those sooner. A bolt means you got a little flower on the top of your onion. I'll show you. And these onions have bolted. Here's the example. There's flower on the top. So I leave some of these here. I'll pick them and eat some of them, but a couple I'll leave because the bees really love them. I've had 5, 6 bees on top of them before. They're really cool if you look really closely. They're real friendly. And I want to be able to do this. Yeah, I'm satisfied with it. The least amount of smell near the house. That looks cool. Carrying my onions under the gazebo.